Hey friends, today we're going to talk a little bit about comparing fractions again. So remember, we can compare fractions that refer to either the same size whole or the same size group. This model shows the two same size circles that are divided into fourths. So we have 3/4 and 2/4. And we can see that 3/4 has more shaded than 2/4. So we can say 3/4 is greater than 2/4. So let me show you what that looks like right now. There's the greater than sign. Now down here, we cannot do it because why, friends? You got it. The circles are not the same size. So to be able to compare fractions, we have to have circles or shapes that are the same size. Let's keep going. Here's a story problem for today. Angie and Toya have the same amount of math homework to do. So we can compare it because they have the same amount. Angie finished 1/6 of her math homework, and Toya finished 1/3 of her math homework. Who has finished the greater amount of homework? So what we need to do when we have our story problem, we need to first go back into the story. We're going to circle those important numbers. 1/6 is important and 1/3 is important. Those are the fractions I'm going to compare. And what am I looking for? The greater amount or the lesser amount? Good job, greater. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we can just simply write out 1/6 and 1/3. Okay, and I'm going to put my circle in the middle. And I know that the numerators are the same. And when the numerators are the same and the denominators are different denominators, different denominators, I say dun dun dun, right? We have some trouble, right? Instead of thinking of a 6 and a 3 as a 6 and a 3, we have to really make sure we're thinking of these as fractions. So this 6 is actually a 6th with a TH. And this 3 is actually a third. And so if I were thinking of it as fractions, okay, I would divide my circle into 6ths, okay, and then another same circle, try to make it the same size, into a third, okay? And if I were shading this in, I would see that 1/6 is way smaller than 1/3. Do you guys see how that is? Okay, and so I would say, I can go ahead and write that in my bubble. So I would say 1/6 is less than 1/3. So we're going to go back to the question. What's it asking? It's not just asking what's greater than what's less than. It's actually asking who has finished the greater amount of homework. So down here, you can see the solution. So this one is Angie. She finished a 6th. And Toya finished a 3rd. So you can see down here, Toya finished the greater amount of homework. So that's what we would write because 1/3 is a greater amount, okay? You can see that, and we proved it with our circles as well, all right? So let's continue. One more. All right, friends, so thinking of this problem, last week, Landon's bean plant grew 2 6-foot. Tyrell's bean plant grew 2 8-foot. Whose plant grew more last week? We're going to check our answer. So the first thing I'm going to do is circle these important numbers. I have 2 6 and 2 8s, and I know that Landon's was 2 6 and Tyrell's was 2 8s. So the question's asking us whose plant grew more last week. So we're going to compare, and I'm going to underline that word, grew more. We're looking for whose plant grew more, not which fraction grew more, but who. So we're talking about where the answer is going to be either Landon or Tyrell. So we're going to look at the fractions, and I know that 2 6 and 2 8s have the same numerator. So we need to compare the, what is it? Denominator. Good job, friends. Okay, and so we're going to go ahead and use this down here. We're going to put 2 6 here, and then 2 8s down here. And I'm going to make sure I label, this one is Landon, so I'm going to put an L here, and this one is Tyrell, so I'm going to put a T there. Okay, and so we're going to compare, and I'm going to draw my models down here just to prove my answer is correct, that 2 6 is greater than 2 8s, because I'm thinking of the fractions, and I know that 6ths are bigger than 8ths. Okay, so I'm going to prove it right here. So I'm going to now draw my circle and divide that into 6ths. And I'm going to also try to draw a circle the same size and draw that into 8ths. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. Here's what 2 6 would look like. And here's what 2 8s would look like. All right, and so I can see that Landon Landon's plant grew more last week because 2 6 is more than 2 8s. So I would actually write his name down here. Landon's, without apostrophe S, plant grew more last week. All right, friends. Thanks for working so hard.